What up, what up? So, I'm here to discuss something that has been on my heart to express for a very, very long time. It's been a real long time, but it's been brewing. It's been brewing for a good year and a half or so, maybe 2 years. Really, honestly, in alignment since I've been an entrepreneur. And it's something I never probably thought in a million years would happen. Being an entrepreneur is something never thought in a million years would happen. And it's the fact that I'm no longer aligned with a lot of the publicized ideals of the Democratic Party. I don't find white people to be this oppressive enemy that's holding me back from my desires and my destiny. At one point I did, and it was when I was working for someone else, which is the majority of the country. And it's our school system grooms us to be good employees, but not necessarily good thinkers, and not necessarily people that actually know how to take control of our destiny. Because one of the main things, we don't even learn financial literacy, which is the basis of survival in a capitalist society. You know what I'm saying? We don't even learn the basis of how to take care of ourselves as adults. But we're groomed to get in line, fall in line, and take orders from somebody else that has learned to think critically. But just because something is difficult does not mean it's impossible to do. And I just don't fuck with this whole victimized mind state that Democrats seem to shove down your throat, especially if you are a Black person, if you're a gay person, if you're any of one of these magic, labels that they can slap right on you, whether you're gay, you're transgender, you're bi, you're Black, you're Mexican, whatever it is. You're this label and nothing more. You got to stay in this box. You have to wait on the almighty white man to make a way for you in order for you to be something. Or better yet, you need us to fight for you, because without us, you're nothing. And I don't fuck with that anymore. Because when I was in a place of working for someone else, I dealt with a lot of racism. And many times, and I'm not going to say that racism doesn't exist. It definitely does. But I also firmly believe that how far you go in this world has to do with this. It has to do with this. Because, see, the war is not out here. It seems like it's out here because that's what the media tells you, right? But the war is for real estate in here. If I could plant the seed of your inferiority, if I could plant the seed that you're not worthy of what it is that you want, that you're downtrodden, that you're victimized, that you're not going to make it without someone else helping you to get there, then you won't even fucking try. You won't even make an attempt to get out of the gate. And that's the game. You know what I'm saying? But just because that's the game doesn't mean that you have to play into it. And somebody that's telling me that I'm a victim, that I can't make it, that my skin is a curse, my skin is a hindrance, and all this other bullshit that is telling me that I can't get the things that I want in this world because of white supremacy is not helping me get further. It's holding me back. If I allow you to tell me that about myself. Now, this is where it falls into a line of where you're empowered to think what you want to think. The media plays this game, no matter who the president is. Every 4 years, we go through the same shit. And every time, the American public catches fucking amnesia because they know that you don't know shit about politics beyond what they tell you. Most of the time, you don't do any research on your own. You read a headline. Don't even open the fucking article. Okay, you read the headline, you're triggered, emotional reaction, and the media sucks it right on up and uses it for their ratings. But I can't even fault them because you know this. You're aware of this. We've seen this game played many a times, but most people are too fucking afraid to say anything about it because they got to do what they want to do. They want to stay safe. They don't want to get ridiculed. They don't want to lose their comfortability, okay, in the life that they're living. But I particularly don't give a fuck because that shit is suffocating. When you don't speak what you really want to say because you want to keep your job happy, you want to keep your family happy, you want to keep other people in your race happy, you want to keep other people in your gender happy. You're trying to keep everybody happy, which is fucking impossible. The only person you can keep happy is yourself. And the way that you keep yourself happy is by expressing what's on your heart. Just like Kanye said, when his interview with Charlemagne, I would be doing humanity a disservice if I was anything but myself. And I feel the same exact way. A lot of people cancel Kanye. Some people probably going to cancel me after they find this out. But it's fine. I don't care. Because, see, the thing about me is, and the thing that makes me so powerful, is that my belief in myself, my opinion of who I am, and my perspective about myself does not hinge upon the eyes and the opinions of someone else. I don't give a fuck about trying to see myself through the eyes of someone else because I can't. They're not me. The only person I can see myself through is me. And I think that we're in an amazing fucking time. Despite the media telling you that the world is on fucking fire. Every year, every day, there is this 4-alarm fire about, oh my God, Donald Trump is doing this. He's ruining the world. Let me ask you something. Has he ruined your life yet? Waiting. Like and I was one of those people, I was like, oh my God, the whole world's going to shit. This fear mongering that is not real, which we leave the present moment. That's the cause of all the insanity in the world. People are projecting themselves into the past. They're projecting themselves into a future that does not exist. They're not even here. You're not even in your body dealing with the reality around you. You're worried about what could happen, and you're driving yourself crazy through it. It's the reason why you don't go after your goals. It's the reason why you won't quit that fucking job that you hate, because you're worried about what might happen instead of focusing on what you can do right here, right now, in the moment you actually have control. But you can't have control if you're not here. But anyway, I think Donald Trump is a great president. And it's not because he's politically correct. I think that's the exact reason why he's amazing and doing a wonderful job of lifting all the veils of the shit that's been going on in this country, the things that have been happening. You see, Obama was a silk glove over the iron fist, okay? He put everybody to sleep. He was a great orator, threw a lot of great cookouts, you know what I'm saying? Passed a lot of terrible laws while he was in office. One of the main ones being something called the Dark Act, which most people probably don't even know exists. It's something that has allowed companies to now not have to label if anything is GMO or not, which might not be a big deal to you. But there's certain things that every president has done that aren't great. There's certain things that every president has done that people happen to love. And the media plays this role with you. Okay, let's look at Cuba and Obama, right? Back when Obama was like, he was lifting sanctions on Cuba, we can now travel there, we can go there. The media smeared him. It was like, no, they called him weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go into this country. We're supposed to hate them and this, that, and the third. And now you're bending over backwards for them, basically calling him a punk. Okay. Same shit they doing to Trump. Before Trump got in office, there was all this fear mongering going on about how, oh my God, we're going to go to war. We're going to end up going to a nuclear war. The world is going to be destroyed. You got this tyrant going against this other tyrant. Then, see, he flipped the script and he ended up going in and making peace with them. Then the media got mad at that. They was like, no, we can't make peace with our traitors, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't fucking matter what happens or what the president does. The media, there will always be a sector of the media that flips it and smears it and creates propaganda. This is what they do. You know this. We know this as people. But the thing that I love about Donald Trump is that he doesn't give a fuck about calling it how it is. Fake news. Fake motherfucking news. You see, imagine if Obama had gone on this tirade of saying fake news. People would have fucking loved it. People would have been like, yes, finally somebody telling the truth. But Donald Trump, because he's a white man, a rich white man, he is what the media and society in general has painted out to be the ultimate villain. Okay. But at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter that he's a rich white man, because he's still being slandered by the same machine. They're still painting him out to be this terrible person. So is it really about that? Or is that just an illusion? Because see, from my own life and what I've seen, I'm a black, I'm a gay, I'm black, I'm gay, and I'm a woman. According to society, and I hate using that term because society is just a society is made up of individuals, including myself. We each have the power to change society into whatever we want it to be by being the change we want to see in the world. But see, what most people want to do is pass that buck along and say it's up to someone else to do it for me because I'm too scared. You know, I don't want to, I shouldn't have to, I don't feel like blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if you feel that way, then you will be swept up by the people who have balls to go do what the fuck they want to do. The game is out here, and you can get in it at any point. You see, my parents grew up during segregation. They actually saw whites only signs. They grew up with that shit, and my parents created a better life for me than their parents did. And I'm gonna do the same thing for my kids. My parents grew up in the projects. You know what I'm saying? They came, my father taught himself about financial literacy well into his 40s, taught himself about stocks and bonds, things that his parents didn't teach him about. So for me to sit here and believe that my destiny hinges upon another race making a way for me, I just can't buy that shit because I didn't come up around that. I didn't see that. And I believe that each and every one of us has the power to create whatever it is we want to see in our life if we choose to step up to the plate of that. Does racism exist? Absolutely. But does racism have to stop you from being who you want to be in this world? No. And I mean, I'm proof of it. You know what I'm saying? So when I got out of this idea that it was somebody else's job to create the life I wanted, I started seeing that how I had the ability to do it all along. And it started with my mindset. When I stopped trying to see myself through someone who was not me, I was able to see my truth. And my truth is not tied up in all this victimhood and all of this, I don't know any better. And it's up to someone that's more powerful than me to give me a chance. That's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. We can create whatever we want in this world, but it's up to us to step up to the plate to do it. And I can't fuck with a political party that's always telling me that I'm victimized, that it's up to somebody else to do it for me. I'm rock with that. And it's been that way for a while. Like I said, it really has changed since I have taken full control of my destiny. And I don't feel myself as being this pawn in the world because I used to think, you know, just like a lot of people, there's this, you know, almighty tier of people that are pulling all the strings in the world, and there's nothing I can do about it. The only reason why those people pull those strings is because there are people like myself, what I used to say, that give that power away. If you give your power away to another group of people and you say it's up to them for you to be somebody, of course you're going to feel powerless. Of course you're going to end up being powerless because you're not taking responsibility for yourself. So a lot of the problems that are in the Black community can be solved by us. We have the resources. We have the ability. We have the talent to do it. We just have to focus on it and have to stop looking for someone to be our leader and learn how to be our own leaders. And for the first time, we have a president that is removing the veils and saying, hey, it's up to you. And I think that's fucking great. Because when we finally, as people, stop this game of it's up to you to make me feel like I'm valid. It's up to you to make me feel safe. It's up to you to make me feel like I'm worthy of what I fucking want. We'll go get it. And there's nothing in this world that can stop me but me. Nothing. I've hit roadblocks from people that have tried to use my race or whatever to hold me back. And guess what I did? I shook and moved on. Okay? Because nothing isn't going to, if you want something bad enough, you will figure out a fucking way to do it. And I don't fuck with anybody that is telling me that we don't know any better. Oh, poor Black people, we're just so downtrodden and we just don't know any better about how to help ourselves. And it's up and it's the white man's fault. Okay, guess what? If somebody hurts you, right? If somebody does something to you, you think it's going to be up to the person that did the thing to you to help you heal, or is it going to be up to you? And we as Black people have a lot of unhealed pain, a lot of unhealed trauma, a lot of unhealed anger that we're looking to the wrong people to help us with. You have to heal from the inside out. And you have to be willing to do it. You have to be really willing to take responsibility for it all. And it doesn't mean that it's your fault. Yeah, it may not be your fault, but it's your responsibility to heal. And as long as you give that away and put that in somebody else's hands, guess where your power goes? On their watch, on their time, and on their willingness to help you out. Or you can say, fuck that shit and go out here and get this shit regardless. And that's what I'm about, man. That's just what I'm about. I don't think any political party has all the answers, but I know it ain't the Democratic one for me. You know what I'm saying? At one point it was, when I saw myself as this helpless person, until I realized that seeing myself as helpless wasn't helping me, you know? When I finally realized that seeing myself as a victim wasn't helping me reclaim my power. When you see yourself as a victim, it is up to the person that harmed you to fix you. And again, when you do that, you give your power away. You put your life on hold, whether you realize it or not, subconsciously and you put it on hold because you're depending on someone else to come back and right their wrongs. What if they don't? Then what? Are you really going to stop? Are you really going to not go after what you really want because it's supposed to be somebody else's responsibility to do it? I don't rock with it. And I think for the first time, especially in the next election in 2020, like Candace Owens has been saying, the Democratic Party is really going to have to work for their votes this time, because a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are waking up to the fact that you don't have to be, just because you're Black, why do you have to be a Democrat? Just because you're a minority, why do you have to be a Democrat? Just because you're a gay person, why do you have to be a Democrat? Why do you have to fit into this box of saying basically that I can't make it because somebody else is more powerful than me? That's a loser mentality, and I ain't with it. I'm sorry, I ain't fucking with it. I just don't. It ain't up to nobody but me. And some people aren't okay with swallowing that pill because it puts a lot on your shoulders. When you take your whole life and you make it your responsibility, you let go of your parents, what your parents did to you, you let go of what society, quote unquote, has done to you, and you put it all on your shoulders and say, hey, this is what the fuck I want, and I'm gonna figure out how to do it. Either you're gonna do it or you're not. That's really what it is. You can sit here and talk about how you shouldn't have to do this, that, and the third. I could give you a laundry list of shit that I shouldn't have to do. But you go to work every day. You go to work to a job that you shouldn't have to go to, but you do it because you say you got to do what you got to do. Well, why not apply that same mentality to what you want? You got to do what you got to do. You got to be willing to get uncomfortable and go after the shit that you really want if you really want to get it. And so that's just how I feel, man. And in 2020, if shit going like the way that it's going, I'm gonna vote for Donald Trump. I really am. And I didn't vote in the last election because I wasn't really hip on him, and I was playing into a lot of the things the media was telling me. You know, the things that they're still doing. You know, painting him as this villainous person when he's doing nothing but carrying on the same shit that's been going on. Because it's like even the whole thing with the immigration, for weeks the media was using this image of this little Honduran girl to push the agenda that he's this terrible person that's separating people from their families and all of this, that, and third. And nobody thinks. Like, I love the fact that he's making people think. That's the most prized thing I think that's coming out of his election. The fact that people are thinking again, you know, and people are really questioning not only the media, but questioning what the government is really about. Is the government really here for me, or is the government just using me? You know, and the media used this little image of this Honduran girl to push this idea of him being this villainous, you know, separated families and all this other shit. And come to find out, the little girl was never separated from her mother. It came out that they never were separated. But the Time magazine used this girl as a pawn to push this idea that Trump is this terrible ass tyrant. And the fact that they're railing so hard against this man is just kind of a red flag to me, because like I said, for the first time, we finally have somebody that's not politically correct in office. And it's such a breath of fucking fresh air. It really is, because I get so tired of seeing these presidents that tell the American people what they want to hear. They show all these images of what they in the running campaign, they tell you all this shit that they gonna do and all this stuff they about, and they get your vote, and they never make good on any of this shit. You know what I mean? And they end up doing a lot of shit that isn't even really a part of the original plan. Not saying that Trump ain't gonna do that too, but the bigger picture of what I see with his presidency is authenticity, which is what everybody is fucking starving for. People are tired. People are tired. Even if people don't want to say it, people are tired of being in relationships they don't want to be in because they scared to hurt somebody's feelings. You tired of going to that job every day you hate because you got to do what you got to do. The fact that you got to go to work and dress a certain way to be respected is ignoramus to me. You mean to tell me because I'm dressed a certain way that I have a certain words on my resume, this piece of paper that is literally a surface of who the fuck I am, you're going to judge my entire character about my ability to be an intelligent, resourceful person for your company? Insanity. We're living in a time where people are dying to be themselves, as Kanye West said. And I think it's great that we have someone in the highest office in the land, supposedly, because I don't see the president as being more powerful than me. You might, but I don't. I see myself as a very powerful motherfucker. And most people don't, though. And I think he's finally, he's almost pushing people to realize their own power and to see that the government is not your safe haven. It never really has been. And the people that are having to swallow that pill right now are losing their shit. But it's a rude awakening that has needed to happen for a long, long time. And because I never forget this, when he was in the debates and this lady asked him, about some tweets that he had, which were controversial. And he was talking about women or something like that. I think he said something crazy about Rosie O'Donnell. And they brought it up in the debates. And Bruh said, I say what I say. We don't have time for political correctness right now. And I think that was the dopest fucking answer you could ever have to something. Because people are too fucking apologetic. People don't say what they want to say. You suffocated. You damn near about to choke and die. Because you're doing all this shit you don't want to do because your opinion of yourself relies on someone else. And when you're that way, you're a slave, okay? You're not free. You have to be, when you're free, you let go of everybody else off the hook of supporting you, believing in you, loving you, making you feel worthy, making you feel valid in your existence. And a lot of people aren't willing to step up to that plate. You know what I mean? And, but I'm not with this idea of shutting people up because they don't agree with me. Whether it's Maxine Waters, whether it's a Democrat, whether whoever you are, say what the fuck you feel. Breathe, express yourself, because that fear of expressing yourself is what causes so much internal anger and resentment towards the people that you feel are holding you back. But nobody's holding you back from but yourself and your fear of ridicule. That's the only thing that's holding you back. And Donald Trump is somebody that represents everything that a lot of people feel that they can't be. Outspoken, expressive, rich, powerful, whatever. And it has nothing to do with the fact that he's a white man. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's rich. I ain't none of that shit. And I don't give a fuck about expressing myself. I don't give a fuck about saying what's on my heart. And a part of my mission To be on this earth is to be myself. And I don't see anybody else is more powerful than me, because it ain't about money. You know, it ain't about your skin color. All of that is rhetoric. All of that is rhetoric. I ain't no way in hell my skin color gonna ever be a hindrance to me. It never has been, and it never will be. Anything I want, I'ma get it. And it ain't got shit to do with whether a white man allows me to have it or not. I'm going to take that motherfucker because it's mine to have. It is my divine birthright. And I know myself. Most people don't know themselves. They trying to know themselves through somebody else that ain't them. Black people trying to know themselves through white people that they hate. It's impossible. How you going to know yourself through the person that you hate? Why you hate them? Because they don't like you? Because they don't make you feel worthy, because they make you feel weak. Why they make you feel weak? Because you trying to see yourself through them. So you giving your power away to perceive yourself to somebody else. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop listening to the people that's telling us to do that. Because you can do whatever you want to do in this world. It's up to you to do it. And that's all I got to say about that. Peace.